Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a faux stipper card that is beginner easy. And I got my inspiration from Paul Ford's video where he shows how to make this card in the 5x7 size, and I'll link to that video right here on the screen as well as below in the description box. And today I'm going to show you how to make it in a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch size, otherwise known as A2 size.
You're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, and you're going to cut it in half so that you have a piece that is 5.5 by 8.5. Then you're going to cut the other half in half again, and you will have two pieces that are 2 3/4 by 8.5, but you're only going to need these two pieces right there. Next, you're going to take the piece that is 2 3/4 inches by 8.5 inches, and we are going to score it right down the middle at 4 1/4 inches. Whoops, almost made a mistake there. 4 1/4 inches. Or you can just fold it in half, because that's exactly what you've got right there, is that piece folded in half. And now we're going to take the piece that is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and we are going to score it at 3 inches and 6 inches and 7 1/4 inches. And guess what? That's all the scoring we're going to do, and we're not doing any cutting. So we are done with that, and now we are just going to start back here with a mountain fold, and the next one is a valley fold, and then a mountain fold. And guess what? We are now done with all of the folding, and that's what we have. I told you this was going to be beginner friendly. So these are the two pieces for the base of the card, but we're not putting it together yet because now we're going to do the layers. For the first layer, you'll need a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, or you can use whatever scraps you have. And what I did was I cut it at 5 1/4 inches, and I'm removing this piece because we don't need it. And what I have left over is this piece right here, which is 2 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And this piece right here that is 1 inch by 5 1/4 inches. And this piece that is 4 inches by 2.5 inches. And we don't need these pieces right here. And for the next layers, you'll need pattern paper that is 2.5 by 5 inches, and it will layer right on top of that one, like so. Then you'll need 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches, and that will layer right on top of that one. And then you'll need a piece that is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 to layer right on there. I'm going to use Distress ink in Fired Brick to ink the edges because the edges are white and I don't want those to stand out when they're up against this dark red cardstock. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back and we will start putting things together. Okay, let's start putting things together. So I'm going to start with this piece, and it's going to go right back there. So if you had it opened, it's in this space right there. And I'm going to be putting the other piece on here in a moment. But I want to point out that, yes, I did not use my normal paper saving technique on this, cutting out that back. And why is that? Probably because I was distracted by something else and just got busy putting things together. So if you were wondering why Janie did not do her normal thing, that is why. To be honest with you, I was distracted by my dog. So, all right, this piece is going to go right here on the front. Now you can make another piece for right in here if you wanted to. And, you know, there was plenty of leftover pieces to do that. But I am choosing to not do that. So, but if you wanted to, you would just cut another piece the exact same size as this for both layers. So you just be creating an identical layer, and you know, you can put it on both sides. And there we go. So we've got this part done so far. And now we're going to take this piece and we're going to put that right on the front of that. And then after I get this done, I'm still not going to attach it yet because I'm going to be adding a decoration to this. So this piece right here that I'm doing, you could have used, you know, a cutout panel that had images on it already. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word I was looking for. Images. You know, so it's already done for you. Or you can die cut images to put on here. Or you could put your sentiment on here. There are so many possibilities. Like I said, I have a link to Paul's, and you're going to see that his had images on it. And I'm going to be adding a die cut to mine. So for right now, we're leaving it at this. But once I have that decorated, we are going to add this to the front. Just like that, and it's going to look like a stepper card. Okay, let me go get my decorations for this.
I'm going to be using In Love Art's Gnome and Christmas Garland cutting dies, and it comes with several dies to cut out all of the pieces you're going to need to paper piece everything together. And you can cut everything out of solid cardstock or pattern paper, or you can do it all in white and color it in with your alcohol ink markers and colored pencils. And I wanted you to see that the die also embosses the wreath. So I used gold glitter jelly roll pen for the ribbon, and I used Christmas red stickles for the little ornaments.
Okay, I've got my gnome and the wreath all put together, and I think it is just so cute. So if you love gnomes, you're going to love this die set. And it also comes with wings if you want to make him an angel. It comes with a heart and a hand to hold the heart. And honestly, even though this is a wreath, I think this would be so cute for Valentine's Day as well. You know, the little wings can make him Cupid, you know, with the heart. You can do it without the wreath, or you could do the wreath and, you know, kind of red and little white hearts on it or something. I just think there's so many possibilities with this. But now I am ready to put that on the front of my card, just like this. And I'm also going to be putting this Merry Christmas. I stamped that with, that stamp is just no longer available, but the stitched, let me see if you can see it. There we go. The stitched little banner there came from this die set. You see me use it a lot, so I'm just going to pull it out really quick and show you. This is the one that I used. They also have that and that and that. There's a lot in here. A big variety, and they're perfect, you know, for tiny stamps. And I'll have a link to this set below in the description box for you. But now it's time to put this on there. I'm going to be using some 3D foam squares, and I am using black ones. I could use white and then use a marker to color it to match, because I really don't like my foam to show. But because this is a dark color, I think the black will blend in nicely with that. So let me get started on that. It took me a minute to get this on there just right because it had to match up on both sides. But there it is. And now it's time to attach that to the card. And you can put this off to one side like that, which is my original plan. But I changed my mind. And I'm going to try to get this one more in the center of the card. So I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to turn it around, and let me grab my pencil really quick. Okay. With the front facing the front, I'm just going to sit it on here, lining it up with the bottom of the card, and then I'm just going to kind of mark right here, kind of where that goes, so that I'll know where I can put the glue. And then I'm going to grab my glue, which is making a mess right now, and I'm going to make sure that I do not put it above that line. So just getting glue right on there like that. And then I'm going to flatten out my card and line this up with where I think the middle is. And I think that looks like the middle to me. Okay, now you can use double-sided tape to do that, and or a combination of double-sided tape and glue, you know, just to make sure that it adheres quicker. But you know me, I prefer my Beacon 3-in-1. So once that is done, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to bring the back piece down. And as you can see, I have a lot of area to put glue. So I'm not going to mark here on the back, but I am going to kind of lift this up and use my pencil like that, just to kind of put a little mark underneath, like so. And then I can see where to put glue. And so I'm just going to stick my head in the way here. Hopefully not. Okay. And get my glue on there. So there's something I should have pointed out before. If you want to stamp your sentiment on the back of this before you glue it down, you can do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut another piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to put my sentiment on that and adhere it back here. But you can stamp directly on this if you want, especially if you're using you know, white cardstock instead of like I'm using this brown craft cardstock. Okay, so there's the card, and it stands up just like that, and it looks like a stepper card, doesn't it? But you didn't have to go through all of that figuring out where to cut it and making sure everything is cut and folded 20 different directions. This was so easy, a beginner can do it. Okay, I want to do one more thing. I wanted to add a couple of these little enamel dots. I just want to add one on each side here, kind of right there in the middle. And let me grab another one here. Now, I am making a second card, so don't go running off right now because I'm going to show you that. I'm not going to take you through the whole process of making the card because we already did that. We already did the tutorial, but I am going to show you the card that I made and what I used to make it. So I'll be right back.
For this next card, I used In Love Art Shop patterned shape pendant cutting dies. Now, that's a mouthful because they could have just said ornaments. But I really think these are so beautiful, and I love the detail, and I love that the set comes with both the decorative layer and the solid layer.
Okay, here's my other card, and this is actually my favorite of the two. I love the ornament dies. They're so beautiful, and I'm sorry I used foil on those, so they're just reflecting all over the place. But I thought the ornaments were perfect with this ornament paper, and I just thought I'd tell you the paper that I used for this card and this one is from Michael's, but I've had it for years, so I doubt seriously you will find it. It was probably just for that year. But this one I sat off to the side instead of in the center. And I did that because I wanted more of the ornaments to show over here. And I used the same Merry Christmas down here. And if you remember on the last one, I said you could put your sentiment right here on the back. Well, you can also put your sentiment right here on the inside. So it's totally up to you where you put it, just like it is totally up to you where you put this other piece. So I just love these, and I'm glad that you let me share them with you, and I hope that you like the tutorial on this card fold, because it is definitely easy enough for beginners, and I'm not a beginner and I absolutely love it. So don't forget, I'm going to have a link below to Paul Ford's video so that you can see how to make this in a 5x7 size. And tell him hi for me. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.